What am I supposed to say at this point? Seriously, what should I say at this point? Because it's the same thing every year. And I've said it over and over and over again. 2019, they blew it against Toronto with the Kawhi bounce. 2021, they lose to the Atlanta Hawks at home in Game 7. 2 years ago, they lose a Game 6 at home in the second round to the Miami Heat to end their season. Last year, they're up 3-2 against Boston, and they lose 2 games in a row to end the season. They disappeared in the fourth quarter. And now this year, this playoff series is going to be remembered for Tyrese Maxey's incredible Game 5 performance just to lose at home, just to come up short at home to the Knicks in 6 games. It stings. Like, I'm legitimately hurt right now. The fact that I've been emotionally invested. I've been so invested in this series as a Sixers fan on an emotional standpoint to end like that. It's heartbreaking. Do you know the amount of roller coaster emotions that I have throughout this game? It's up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Oh, the game's over. Oh, we're back in it. Oh my god, I'm so hyped. Oh my god, we got a 10-point lead. Oh my god, the Knicks came back. Oh my god, we got a tied game with 20 seconds left. And we leave Josh Hart wide open. The message was clear. Nick Nurse and his game plan was not going to have Jalen Brunson win this series for the New York Knicks. And the Sixers missed out. They didn't capitalize in the first 2 games of the series when Jalen Brunson was terrible. Now, yes, this should be a 3-3 series going to Game 7, but I will talk about the refs at a different point in this video. Right now, this is not about the refs. This is about tonight, and this is about the entire series. The refs are probably going to be the last thing I talk about on this video. But the Sixers, they lose by 3. And that's the hard part. It's the fact that they crawled back in this game. And they crawled back in the fourth quarter when they were down by 8. Just to leave Josh Hart wide open to end the season of the Philadelphia 76ers. That's what makes it more painful. It wasn't like Jason Tatum put up 50 points in Game 7 last year. It wasn't like Jimmy Butler, who's one of the most clutch NBA players in playoff history to end your season. It was Josh Hart on a wide open 3. And that was the plan the entire series. Is that Josh Hart is not a good 3-point shooter, and we're going to leave Josh Hart wide open, and we're going to make him beat us. And not only did Josh Hart beat you in the first game, and in the second game, you got some big shots, but he just won the series for the New York Knicks. And as good as Brunson was in Philadelphia, he is a flopping machine. And realistically, I would say that Josh Hart was the best player in this entire series. And it's because he made big shots when he needed to. And he legitimately was a huge part of why the Knicks were so successful on offensive rebounding. And that's the main takeaway of this series. That's probably the biggest reason why the New York Knicks won this series, was because of the offensive rebounding. They got dominated, the Sixers did, in game one. They did better in the rebounding in game two, but you had Isaiah Hartenstein come flying in over 4 dudes to end the game in game two to get the offensive rebound out to DiVincenzo. And then in game four, it was terrible. And tonight, it was terrible. It was terrible. OG Anunoby had 9 rebounds. Josh Hart had 14 rebounds. Isaiah Hartenstein had 9 rebounds. Mitchell Robinson had 9 rebounds off the bench. It's crazy. I would love to know how many more rebounds they got than the 76ers in this entire series, because that's what this series came down to, was offensive rebounding. And it's why the Knicks won this series. The Knicks had more dogs. The Knicks wanted it more, unfortunately. I hate the Knicks, so it pains me to talk about this, but it's true. The Knicks just wanted it more. The Knicks wanted it more tonight. Now, let's talk about Tyrese Maxey. Because Tyrese Maxey was a huge part of the reason why the Sixers lost tonight. He's got the worst whistle in the NBA. Again, I'm saving that for the end of the video. I'm talking about the refs at the end of the video. Right now, it's not about the refs. I'll get to that in a bit. But Tyrese Maxey was bad tonight. After coming off a 46-point game in Game 5, they clearly had a new game plan for Tyrese Maxey. They were not going to give him open lanes into the paint. And the game plan worked for Tom Thibodeau. So I got to give credit to him, because not only did he make a huge adjustment in it tonight, but between him and Nurse, Tom Thibodeau was the better coach. And before this series started, we had coaching comparisons that Tom Thibodeau is not a good postseason coach, and Nick Nurse is a championship-winning coach. Well, Tom Thibodeau was the better coach in this series, unfortunately. But Tyrese Maxey was a huge reason why the Sixers lost tonight. He was off the entire game. He had 17 points. He shot 6 of 18 from the field and 1 of 6 from 3. That's not good. From your number 2 option on this team, that's not good. Kelly Oubre made a couple big shots. Kelly Oubre had 17 points. That is fine. You even got contribution from the bench. At the end of the first half in the second quarter, Buddy Hield was the spark that this team needed. He made 5 threes in the second quarter and had 17 points at halftime. And in my opinion, you did not play Buddy Hield enough in the second half. Now, what I will say is that shot by Buddy Hield was rushed at the end of the game. That was horrific. That's the last image of the entire season, is a ridiculous-looking shot from Buddy Hield, which wasn't even close to going in. And that's going to be the last image for the Sixers season. Either that or Josh Hart standing at midcourt, soaking it all in. But the bench gave you a spark. Buddy Hield had 20 points off the bench. Nicholas Batum had 16 points off the bench. Tyrese Maxey needed to be that second option tonight, and Tyrese Maxey just did not have a good game. And I will give partial credit to Tom Thibodeau because Tom Thibodeau had a good game plan for Tyrese Maxey. They wanted 2 people in the paint for when he's coming in so that they don't give him a clear path to the basket. So I got to give props to him there. And I just think he was in his head. Straight up. I just think Maxey was in his head because he was bothered that he was not getting calls. I mean, he was getting obliterated by Josh Hart and OG Anunoby. And he was frustrated. And you know what? I understand. I understand because I would be too if I got fucking obliterated from the side. Meanwhile, Jalen Brunson has the best whistle in the NBA. I'm telling you this right now. I'm not. Before what I have to say, I'm not getting all, rant mode and all that stuff. That might be in Sunday's video because Sunday we're gonna do a season review. We're gonna talk about the entire season. I've got a lot of shit to say on Sunday. So Sunday we are gonna do an entire season recap. No video tomorrow because I'm going to the Phillies game tomorrow night. Thank God. I knew that would be a good idea because I'm like, you know what? I haven't been to a game yet this year. The Phillies are the best team in baseball. And, man, if the Sixers let me down, the Phillies will be right there to pick me up. So, it worked out in that aspect, but could talk Phillies tomorrow. I'm not in the mood for it right now, but and then we got Backlash on Saturday and the Kentucky Derbies, of course, on Saturday, but so we'll talk Sixers recap season on Sunday, and I'll have all my rants on that video, but I think just Tyrese Maxey was too much in his head, man. I really do. And Joel, I can't say Joel didn't show up, man. I really can't. Limping around the court in the fourth quarter, I can't do it. The man had 39 points in an elimination game. That's rare, okay? That's rare from Joel Embiid, that he had 39 points in the elimination game, along with 13 rebounds. I can't shit on Joel Embiid for the effort that he gave. Now, what I can shit on, and this is the main, in my opinion, the main reason why the Sixers lost tonight was because of their atrocious performance in the first quarter. First of all, in like the first 4 minutes of the game, the Knicks could not miss a shot. Brunson was making threes. DiVincenzo could not miss. Hartenstein was getting hooks in the paint. In the first 4 minutes of this game, the New York Knicks were up 17-4. And that's a red flag right there. Because you are playing Game 6, an elimination game, on your home court, where your season's on the line, and you don't bring the energy, and the Knicks do. That's fucking unexcusable. That's unacceptable. The fact that you let them and their fans who were in the building tonight bring the energy to begin the game, and it deflated the entire arena until Buddy Hield came in the game and gave the team and the fans the spark that they needed. But that first quarter was inexcusable by the 76ers. To start the game with the first 4 minutes, and you're already down 17-4. And then with 4 minutes to go, something around there, maybe 2.5, they were down 33-11. They were down 22 points in the first quarter. That's why they lost. because their first quarter was atrocious. Joel Embiid, with 4 minutes to go in the game, in the first quarter, the 76ers had 11 points. Joel Embiid had 11 points. So until like the second quarter, when the role players Batum and Buddy Hield and Campaign came in, and Oubre decided to make shots, no one was showing up for Joel Embiid. And I don't know what's going to happen with Joel in the offseason. We'll talk more about that on Sunday. I got to sit back and I got to process this whole thing. I got a lot of thinking to do before I make my season recap video. But I don't know what the future holds for Joel Embiid. The only player that I'm certain is going to be on this team next year is Tyrese Maxey. He's the only player that is locked in to be a Philadelphia 76er going into the 2024-2025 season. It just sucks. It really does. The first quarter was bad. Man. When you're relying on players like Tobias Harris, things aren't going to go well. He's making a fortune. Okay? He's making a fortune. This man is. This man stole $200 million from the Philadelphia 76ers. And in those 5 years, he has came in and he has absolutely stunk up the joint. Anytime they played at the Wells Fargo Center, anytime he put on a Sixers uniform at the Wells Fargo Center. This man's getting paid $40 million. Do you know how many shots Tobias Harris took in this elimination game? Dose. Peace sign. 2 shots. He's getting paid $40 million and he takes 2 shots. So, I'm talking more about Tobias on Sunday's video. This man was an absolute non-factor tonight. He was in there for 29 minutes to get his cardio. Good for him, but send his ass off to Detroit, please. Now, one last thing I will say before I talk about the refs, because yes, we need to talk about the refs. Now that the Sixers season's over, and the Knicks, they're going to be playing the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. And not the Eastern Conference Finals, the second round. I think they beat the Pacers. I think they beat them in 6 games. And believe it or not, the Eastern Conference Finals is going to be the Knicks and the Celtics. It's going to make me absolutely sick as a Sixers fan. I might not even watch. I'd rather watch my lovely pro wrestling. I'd rather watch the Phillies. But if the Eastern Conference Finals is the Knicks and the Celtics, then I have the Knicks going to the NBA Finals this season. And the main reason I think that is because with Kristaps Porzingis' injury, the Knicks are going to have more size over the Celtics in the rebounding game. And Tom Thibodeau's a better coach than Joe Mazzulla. So I actually think the Knicks are going to be in the NBA Finals. I really do. I think the Finals is going to be the New York Knicks against the Denver Nuggets. And who wins, I don't know. But if I had to make a pick now, that's my call for the Finals, is the Knicks against the reigning champion Denver Nuggets. Now, I'm going to get out of here in a little bit, but I can't right away because I got to talk about these stinking refs. I don't want to say the refs decided this game. The refs, they decided game 2, okay? They absolutely robbed the Sixers of a game 2 win at Madison Square Garden. That's a fact. Whether you won't admit it or not, that is a fact. Okay? Nick Nurse called timeout at Madison Square Garden, and Tyrese Maxey was fouled by Jalen Brunson, and they even admitted it. And by the way, the last 2-minute report is bullshit. It should go away. It makes nobody feel better. Because what's the point of putting out a report of saying, oh, we made this mistake, we are sorry, we'll shake your hand and make it up. Whatever bullshit excuse they want to come up with. But I seriously don't know what Tyrese Maxey has to do to get a whistle in this league. This man is getting obliterated by OG Anunoby and Josh Hart all game. He's getting pounced onto the floor. A defender, could fucking punch Tyrese Maxey in the face and he wouldn't get called for a fucking foul. But meanwhile, if you sniffed while covering Jalen Brunson, if you sniffed, you were getting called for a foul. Didn't they ban what Brunson did the entire series? When Trae Young did that against the Knicks 3 years ago, didn't they ban that? Well, I guess Brunson just brings it back into the league, and everything's all rainbows and sunshines. Because let me try to look this up. He was being guarded by He was being guarded by Cameron Payne, and he had Nicholas Batum behind him. And he knew he had Nicholas Batum behind him. So what does he do? He backs up onto Nicholas Batum. He hits Nicholas Batum on the face. And he's literally got his ass on his stomach. Who do you think gets called for the foul? Brunson jumps backwards into Nicholas Batum. Nicholas Batum gets his face knocked. He gets hit in the face. And Nicholas Batum gets called for the foul. It's fucking ridiculous. It's bullshit. It really is. And then at the end of the game, Kelly Oubre, Jalen Brunson bumps his ass into Kelly Oubre. And Oubre gets called for the foul, and of course it's an and one. So, the refs were absolutely atrocious in this entire series. And something has to be done. Something has to happen. I don't know if we need robots or not, but this has nothing to do with baseball. Umpires are fine for most of the time. But this is particularly for the NBA and the NFL. The refs get worse year after year after year after year. And something has got to change. I don't know what it is, but something's got to change. Because these refs cannot be deciding games like they have in this series. Like they did in Game 2. And Jalen Brunson gets the best whistle in the NBA. That's part of the reason why the Knicks are going to the finals this year. It's because these refs fucking love Brunson. Scott Foster loves Brunson. But that's all I got. That's all I got. It's mind-blowing. Whatever, man. I'm in shock. I'm hurt. This definitely isn't worse than the previous losses because, you know, I actually had the Knicks winning this series in 7 games. And when Embiid tore his meniscus, I never really thought this team was good. I never really thought they had a chance. So I'll talk more about that on Sunday's video. But I'm getting out of here. Thank you all so much. Subscribe to the channel. Comment down below. Hit the like button if you liked what you heard from me. And follow me on Twitter. Conlon_Joseph. This sucks. This sucks. So we'll do a season recap video on Sunday, and then we'll wrap. That'll be it for Sixers content until probably free agency. Right around free agency time, if the Sixers make any big free agent moves. They got $65 million of cap space this all season, so should be busy. It should be busy. So I'm out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.